Everyone's talking about interest rates, but what's really happening in Waterloo Region real estate? Prices dipped again in October, but buyer activity actually picked up compared to September. So skip ahead for my advice or stick around for the full breakdown. The Bank of Canada's recent quarter-point rate cut helped ease some pressure on variable mortgage borrowing costs. It's not a full rebound yet, but some promise is finally back on the table. Buyers are still cautious, but they're watching closely. For sellers, that means presentation and strategy are everything right now. The right realtor isn't just listing your home, they're positioning it for the end goal, and that is to sell. Every detail matters when buyers are flooded with options. Let's dive into the numbers, starting with total sales. October saw 569 homes sold across Waterloo Region. This is up from September this year, but down almost 7% year over year and almost 20% below the 10-year average. So activity is slow, but not dead. Buyers are still making moves, especially when a home checks all their boxes. Detached sales are down about 3.5% year over year. Semis are down 2%. Townhomes are taking quite the hit in terms of volume, almost 17% of a decrease compared to 2024. And condos are also taking quite the beating, down 16.4% year over year. The standout here are semis and detached homes. They're holding stronger than townhomes and condos, and I hypothesize that that might be because things are becoming a little bit more affordable. So people that were maybe sitting on the fence and thinking about getting a townhouse or maybe a condo, maybe they're getting pushed into that semi or even a small detached category, but who knows? Prices took another dip in October, reversing last month's small gain, down across all property types, both year over year and month over month. Taking a look at detached homes, they're down almost 5%, so that's quite a big jump. That's down anywhere from like 40 to 50K less if we're comparing to 2024 pricing. Semis are down almost 12% year over year, so that's quite a significant jump. Townhomes down 8% year over year and 2.2% month over month, so also big down pressure there as well. Condos are just not having the best time right now. There's a ton of condo inventory on the market. Condos are down over 10% year over year on average, and they're down 2% month over month. I expect that this will continue leading into 2026. Inventory continues to rise, giving buyers plenty of choice. Sellers need to recognize they're not just competing on price anymore. They're competing on presentation and attracting the buyers that have tons of selection. So we're hovering just over 1,200 new listings, which is up 7% compared to last year. And we're up about 30% versus the 10-year average. Active listings, we're over 2,000 active listings now, which is up almost 25% compared to last year and up 90% compared to the 10-year average. So this is quite a significant environmental shift. Months of inventory, on average, we're 3.9 months of inventory. That means it would take 3.9 months, almost 4 months, to sell the current inventory at the current rate that homes are selling. This is up 30% year over year. So quite a significant shift. Things are taking longer to sell relative to the inventory. If we look at the highest months of inventory, of course, condos are the highest culprit here, hovering just over 7.5 months. Towns are hovering just under 5 months of inventory, and detached homes, again, depending on what price point and neighborhood, are hovering around 3 months of inventory. Average days on market hasn't changed much. Month over month, we're down a day, but compared to last year, we're up 4 days. Lots of numbers, lots of averages, lots of stats. How does this all apply to you and your situation? If you're selling, I get a common question from lots of my sellers that are calling me, should I sell now or should I wait till spring or summer? And again, I don't have a crystal ball. The longer I'm in this business, the more I realize that I don't know. Nobody knows what's gonna happen 3 months from now or 6 months from now. I can look at things from a historical standpoint in the rearview mirror. In a normal market in Waterloo Region, if we look at a long enough window, property prices would typically go up anywhere from 3 to 5%. If you're thinking about, and that's in a normal market, which we are not in a normal market. So if you're thinking of waiting 6 months, 8 months or so, let's call it 6 months, you have a potential upside of maybe 1.5% to 2.5% where your home could appreciate if the market was normal. So on an average home, you're probably looking at a potential $15,000 to $30,000 appreciation, depending on where you're at in the best case scenario. Now, we're not in a normal market. We are in a downward trending market, so that would be your best case. In the spring, maybe prices will be the same, maybe they'll be less. I know I was optimistic even in 2024, thinking that things would be better this year, and obviously with elections, with the US relationships, with tariffs, with the whole macroeconomics of things, this impacts how the market's gonna react. And no one really knows which lever is gonna change what. When we talk about the interest rates being reduced now for variable interest rates with the Bank of Canada, will this affect the market positively? Maybe. The interest rates have gone down over the last year and a half, and the market's at a lower point than it was when the interest rates were higher. So explain that to me. So interest rates are a symptom of the market not being good or the economy not being good. The Bank of Canada doesn't shift interest rates in a downward direction if everything's great. They're doing it to stimulate the economy, to offset things. So there's bigger problems that are playing in behind the scenes that are negatively impacting the economy, the real estate market across the whole country. So yes, if you have a variable mortgage, it helps you. If you're looking to get a variable mortgage, your rate's gonna be a little bit better. So yes, it will make it more affordable if you're in a good position to be able to purchase a home now or to make a move. So will it make a huge difference where things are gonna start flying and we're gonna be up 10% by the spring? I doubt it. We need to figure out our trade deal with the US, get some certainty, lock things in. Again, we might not have another Canadian election looming potentially in a few months, so who knows where that's going. The uncertainty creates worry and fear, and when people are scared and worried and unsure, they freeze and they don't do anything. Some folks are kind of over it because we've been kind of up and down for the last few years, and they're just making moves. Life goes on. There's always gonna be a segment of the market that's gonna be moving. It doesn't matter. People get promoted, people get married, people get divorced, so life goes on. But the folks that are kind of unsure and not really motivated to buy something or sell or buy, then they're gonna wait it out until they're a little bit more certain. A lot of this has to do with psychology and consumer confidence. When consumers are confident, like they were, let's say in 21, 22, you could sell a house in a day and everybody was lined up because they were afraid that in a month or 2 or 3, that prices will be even higher, and they're speculative. And there's that fear of missing out and then a fear of having to pay more later. We're now not in that market where folks are seeing prices come down or homes sit on the market for a lot longer. They're becoming a lot more reluctant and relaxed, and they're not fighting to buy a home necessarily. Again, we are still experiencing multiple offers in many homes, but the vast majority of homes are sitting on the market for a few months. They're not selling, they're getting reduced, or their agent's getting fired, they're hiring somebody else. And if you're pricing incorrectly and you don't have the right plan, that's how you're gonna end up, and it's gonna be a painful experience. Selling sucks. There's nothing great about selling. You gotta live in a fishbowl when people are going through your home. You gotta make sure your home looks good, smells good, prep, etc. So it's a challenging time. The last thing you wanna do as a seller is to drag that out over 5 months and extend the pain. You're better off to have the right plan out of the gate, sell your home within a month, and you're off to the races and moving on with your life. Buyers, you guys are in a great position now. Rates are coming down a bit. Variable mortgages are becoming a little bit more affordable. You have tons of selection, which can create a paralysis through analysis scenario for you. But there are some great opportunities out there if you have your ducks in a row and you have the right agent working in your corner to create the best deal for you. Don't overpay for a home if you don't have to. If you're buying something, always focus on location and then focus on value after that. Location is the king of real estate. You're better off to buy in a better neighborhood if you can stretch and get into it than to concede and maybe get a bigger home, but it's a 25-minute drive to work and you got to do that every single day because it's out of the way. So things to consider. But the right agent will give you the right advice. If you need help with that, you can reach out to me and my team. We'll take care of that as well. We're getting into that time of the year where we're getting into the holiday lull. So once we get into December, things are going to start softening up from mid-December to mid-January. People are going to be doing holiday stuff, Christmas, Hanukkah, etc. So things get a little bit quieter. So if you're thinking of listing right now in this market, don't list a week before Christmas unless you absolutely have to. That being said, if you're thinking about listing in the spring, it might make sense to list a little bit sooner because as we get into January, there's going to be way less listings on the market. And anyone looking in -10 or -15 degree weather, although there is less buyers in January and February from the metrics, they're more motivated. They need to buy something. So if they have less options, your home, if it's priced right and positioned correctly, is going to be an attractive option for them. Anyways, folks, let me know your thoughts about this month's market update. If you have any questions, you know how to reach me. We'll see you next month. Take care. Peace out.